Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue unpacking some Chinese expressions describing today's latest technology. And today we're going to talk about 人工智能, which is artificial intelligence. Okay, it's the hottest word of 2023, I guess. AI, abbreviated, but 人工智能 is the full spell, the Chinese way to express artificial intelligence. Okay, again, Chinese would put artificial as 人工 means 人 made, man made. That's artificial. I mean, isn't that true? Artificial means man-made. It's not nature-made, it's man-made. Okay, we have man or humans in general. Contemporary rendering, two legs standing being. Traditional Chinese have this left and right, looks almost like English letter R, have this straighter or linear and a non-linear side of us have this conflicting two components, this bipolar nature of human beings embedded in this one entity. Or according to some scholars, this looks like a side view. So if the contemporary Chinese look like a full frontal view, two legs standing, the ancient rendering is a side view. So this is the arm versus the leg. So the front and back. But from the side view, I few episodes ago realized, wow, this still looks like a human's walking on a hand, right? Hand is still on the floor. It's still like an ape walking. So I guess that's in recognition of humans are actually have a connection to primates. I don't know, but multiple ways to read how Chinese language abstract the concept of nothing else but the language creator and user themselves. Okay, so that's 人工. Very straightforward. Two horizontal lines connected by one vertical line. That's man-made. And this was said to be the ancient craftsman tool to make perfect perpendicular angles. And you can see over there, that's 90 degrees created over here. And I guess ancient, especially house building, you have to make sure your walls are perpendicular to the ground level so it won't collapse. So this ancient engineering tool then used because it's simple enough and important enough to mean engineering in general or crafts in general, and then eventually means human making things. So that's 人工, man-made, artificial. Okay, 智能. So in English, we just have intelligence in there, but artificial intelligence, the intelligence in Chinese, we use 智 and 能, two of them combined together because in contemporary Chinese versus ancient times. So ancient times, a lot of times we use just one Chinese character to mean a particular thing, but probably because in the later generations or dynasties or years, through thousands of years of living transformation or our technology changing, especially after industrialization, industrial revolution, which have as a shockwave pass through the other side of the globe from the origin in Britain all the way to the other side of the globe in China in this opium war format of this confrontation of different civilizations, that Chinese start to use the ancient language in its two of them combination to create a more specific meaning for things, because the English have this more accurate definition of a word versus Chinese. At the beginning, it's like one Chinese character, one thing. But because things are derived and there's so much complication from the technology we're living in, so Chinese start to adopt and try to adapt and using pick and choose from its vocabulary of the singular thing and in combination, at least two of them together, to mean a particular thing in English. So English intelligence and Chinese pick two of them, 智 and 能 combined to mean exact translation for intelligence. So intelligence, if you look deeper, what is 智 and what is 能 actually talks about two different things. 智 talks about the quickness of understanding things. And a made of 智, which is, well, the left side is the arrow shooting. So this is the arrow shooting mechanism without expressing the arrow. This is the arrow. Okay, this is the, I guess, where the arrow shoot from. So I guess this is ancient view of arrow shooting out. So the arrow is already off from the bow. So arrow in the fly. I guess in ancient times, arrow flying through the air, that's the speediest thing to ancient technology. Back then, no bullet yet, right? And definitely no rockets. So faster things or the speed of light is like beyond comprehension back then. So the benchmark back then, the fastest moving object, projectile through air, is the arrow. So that arrow, when you see that, that means speed. And here, the top here means speaking, means it's a mouse symbol. Basically a curve combined with one horizontal line. So that's a mouse. And the mouse symbol means a speaking function. So when we pair speed plus speaking, would you think it's fast speaking? So speed speaking in Chinese, we interpret it as you know something, or almost like you're so well learned or well educated, you can identify, you can talk about something quickly. So that in itself is like a speed speaking is a symptom, if we say, of you have knowledge, you know things, therefore you can express things, you can talk about something quickly. So that's 知 in itself. Okay, 知. And then here at the bottom, it almost looks like the mouse symbol, right? But it's it has this one horizontal line in the middle and this pokey thing on the top. Together, this character means whiteness or the sun ray. Ancient times, we have this sun symbol, which is a sphere with one horizontal line, means energy from the sphere. And then we use one poke, one spoke from the top of the sphere, means sun ray coming out of the sun. And just one is enough to show the light actually travel from that energy ball all the way to the earth, that we can visibly see it. And that means sunlight. And sunlight was used as the color of white. I guess the ancient Chinese, without knowing the color theory, we look at white color. We use the sunlight to express the color of white. And sunlight also, just like in English, shed light on something, means you understand something. You can see something clearly. You can see through the darkness because finally the light is on and you finally can see something in its form. So there's a shed light on also shown on this sun ray. So this light, this color of white, again, like in the dark, right? In English, we have in the dark means you don't know something. And when we have sunlight in there, that means you know it. It's exposed. You can see it now. And also shed light on. So both of them point this to knowledge. So on the top, quick to identify means somebody already got hold of the knowledge in their head. And this light shining things on probably means gaining new knowledge. Like if this is known, prior known, and this shed light on means knowing, means gaining knowledge or starting to understand things. And the right, two horizontal lines with a puff of air. That is Chinese way to say another way to mean speaking. So without drawing the organ of speaking, which is the mouth, we're actually drawing something deeper, which is the breathing, the puff of air from your lungs ejecting over, and then this alteration of the airflow from your lungs. From this block, The first horizontal line is the block, which is the sound chamber. Our mouth will create the blockage through the teeth, tongues, lips, all that opening, closing, and all kinds of twists and turns. That is like a gymnastics of your tongue is doing in your mouth to create sound bites, right? Sound bits. And all of that is this pronunciation or iteration or articulation of language. So this verbalizing or make it audible is captured just by this puff of air with this horizontal line. And then the second horizontal line means the air spreading out evenly. Or the second reading is it's top of the frame, like in relative to this space. It means the first horizontal line means the heaven or the sky is the limit, and the bottom line could mean the earth. So we are someone who is existing between heaven and earth, and we still can breathe and eject our puff of air, which means that we are still can producing thoughts and having our voices, making our sound, make ourselves heard. And so this character eventually adopt many different meanings. It's even hard to unpack in probably I should spend some time just to look at that, because it made into one of the ancient philosophy books to classify I guess to understand humans' position in the universe, something like that. So this eventually it just means speaking, or we have our voice between heaven and earth, if poetic understanding of that. So quick, speed, speaking, light, shining, and ejecting or pronouncing our thoughts out to between heaven and earth. All that boiled, combined together into this intelligence. And I guess intelligence involves speed, understanding of things, involves this shedding light on things, involves like both the mouth symbol and this breathing going out to heaven and earth. Is about humans, we can understand things. So intelligence is really like comprehension. And also there is this function of if you can understand that itself is not enough, because how are you going to show you understand? You have to be able to verbalize it. You have to be able to have your puff of air to share your opinion or your understanding of things between heaven and earth. So that's, I guess, the evidence of intelligence. That's how Chinese capture intelligence. Okay, 能 means energy. So intelligence, if intelligence talks about the wiring of us, or the mapping of the world of this, complicated things, everything in between heaven and earth, we try to map it onto our brain to capture where things are, this whole network of knowledge. If that's about that network or mechanism or this mapping of complicated things to relatively, in a small space that you can run this, but to run it, it needs to be based on energy. We need to have energy source to be able to support all that computing. So if 智 is about this human computing or understanding things, 能 is about the energy that powers this computing itself. So Chinese make intelligence split it into two. One is the mechanism, or the other means the energy coming through it. So the energy coming through it is expressed by this net. So this is a net. Just two crosses is enough to show you the pattern on the net. And this frame gives you the spatial sense of there is this wall of a net over there. And then the four components was said to be a bear. So bear in ancient times, I guess this is the head of the bear, the biceps of the bear, that's pretty muscular. And then these are the four legs of the bear. So bear in ancient times are probably one of the most, it's not a the king of the animal kingdom because it's not the most ferocious and the predator on top of the food chain. We have tiger for that. Bear represent muscular power. So it doesn't have much intelligence, but it has the muscle, it has the energy, it has the power. So this represents the raw energy from nature in animal form on bear in particular. And then we have the network over there to capture that. So if the energy runs through nature that you cannot harness, you cannot capture, that's not the energy you can use. So that's nature's energy. And for humans, we to do something with it, we have to be able to harness it. And to harness it is by capturing it first by this network of things. So this captured or netted bear image together means energy that you can harness to use. 人工智能 is Chinese way to say artificial intelligence. And each of them, if we go deeper, it's about humans' own understanding of our position in the universe, right? Man made this understanding under the sunlight, right? And involves speaking between heaven and earth. And 能 means the energy going through that you can harness all this energy and understanding and transform that into something even bigger, better, brighter thing, right? And all of that is Chinese 人工智能. It's Chinese artificial intelligence translation, and we can totally, through just 4 characters, to show our understanding of ourselves through the Chinese character creation. And here is a scene from Ex Machina. I used that before, but I think this is a good moment to capture the emergence of intelligence, because she is looking at a face on the wall. It's almost like looking at a mirror, but also realization of she's made of that, and she is a man-made thing. So somebody else's creation. It's almost like humans. We realize we are somebody else's creation. Either it's evolution or this God theory of creation. So we exist between heaven and earth to understand things, to capture the energy, to do things. We have that moment of this understanding of ourselves. It has to come with a certain self-awareness of us versus the environment, right? So this is the moment of this man-made machine come to this realization by looking at this face on the wall to see her position in the environment as she came from this creation. And then she has developed this intelligence to understand she may have her own agency. She may not follow the order from her creator. Okay, so I highly recommend the movie, but it captures this artificial because she's man-made, but she harnessed the energy, the tools, the understandings of her environment, in her relationship to the environment, and break out of that environment to be, go out to the bigger environment, which is the world we are living in. So this man-made thing eventually made it into the same world as man. Okay, don't want to scare anybody, but 人工智能 is well illustrated by that moment of realization, that awareness. All right, thank you for your time. See you another day.